So let's discuss now the pedagogies in teaching mathematics to children with learning disability. Okay, so for those teachers na nandito, for sure, itong mga strategies na ito ay very common na sa inyo. So let's discuss about visual support. So when you say visual support, yes, that means you are using visual aids. So like for example, when you're teaching math, we're focusing on teaching math, right? So when you have, you're using pictures in teaching math. So like this. So you have, parang ano, because, klaro lang ba, Sir Jeff? Okay lang ba?
Okay
Nakikita
lang. We
lang.
can also mag-stop muna tayo ng slide sharing pag magpapakita ka ng visual
Okay po.
para buong camera. How about i-stop ko muna yung yung screen share, yung yan. How
Sige
about
pa.
that? Yes.
Okay lang po.
Yes.
Okay. Di ko alam bakit ganun yung gano'n ko. Sige, so when you are teaching mathematics, so like I have here 1, 3, and, teka lang. So ito. How about this one? Okay, so I have 1, 3, and on the other hand, I have 2 trees. So, tingnan nyo, wala po akong kahit na nakafocus lang talaga siya sa tree. Wala pong ibang nakikita, kundi tree lang. So, when we introduce or when we use pictures in teaching mathematics to children with learning disability, we have to consider yung simplicity na ginagamit mo. So, if you can see, ganyan. If you can see po, I'm using a tree na walang bunga para hindi malito yung bata. Tapos, I'm using white background only para din hindi ma-distract yung mga bata. So, see, for example, of like this po. So, see, pag black yung ginamit ko at saka maraming bunga, malilito na yung bata. Kasi saan ba dyan yung ika-count niya o ano ba dyan yung ito din Kahit na puti yung background niya, tapos madami namang bunga, so malilito siya, ano ba dyan o saan ba dyan yung ika-count niya. So when we use pictures and photographs, we have to consider all these things. And of course, we have to make sure na enough yung size para sa isang bata. Hindi naman yung sobrang liit. Okay? So, yes. And now we have structured learning. This is very common to teachers because we are required to have lesson plan. We cannot start a day or we cannot start teaching if we don't have lesson plan. So that is structured learning. Now for special education teachers, we have IEP or the individualized education program para sa plan for our special education students. Kasi again, they have different strengths. When we consider the strategy, every time we make a plan, we have to consider the strategy that we are going to use, diba? And then, before that, we also have to consider the strength or the strengths of our students. So, balik na naman tayo dun sa multiple intelligence ng bata. Kung ano yung strength niya, dapat dun tayo mag-focus. Dun tayo parang yun yung hugot natin para maka-learn siya at saka Kasi 'di ba pag ano, if you use a strategy na hindi niya strength, so like for example, uh, ayaw niya ng music, tapos ginamit mo music, eh paano yun? Walang learning na magaganap kasi ayaw niya ng music, ayaw niya makinig sa'yo, ayaw niya ng ano, loud noise, parang ganun. So, yung attention niya, wala doon kasi ayaw niya. So, we have to know, we have to um, look or assess the child para alam natin kung saan tayo papasok. So, yun yung structured learning. Now, hands-on approaches naman. When we say hands-on approaches, ito yung experiential learning. 'Di ba? Meron tayo doon na experiential learning. They learn through um, manipulating real objects or yung na tangible objects na nahahawakan nila. So yun yung experiential learning. They are actually doing a particular thing rather than just talking. So again, multiple intelligences ng bata we have to consider. So hands-on approaches, kung gusto niya yung parang mga nature, gusto niya yung mga dahon. So, pwede natin gamitin yan. And mind you po na mas okay po talaga pag ginamit natin yung mga nakikita natin around. Parang ano, nalo-localize po yung ating ginagamit at yung mga strategies na gagamitin natin so that it is more meaningful to the child. So, mas nare-retain niya yung information na tinuturo nyo as a teacher. Okay, so hands-on approaches. So like for example, if you are having addition. So I have here some I can use or you can use popsicle sticks. So, madali lang naman po ito. I know for sure yung mga teachers na nandyan, you have popsicle sticks. So, pag sinabi mo, two, so, ano niya, na tangible ang materials na ginagamit ko. So, you have 2 plus 2. So, pag ginanyan mo, so nakikita niya na mas na-visualize na kung ano yung problem na binigay mo. Tapos mamamaster din niya yung skill. Kasi yun nga, mas gusto niya yung hands-on. Ayaw niya yung salita ka lang ng salita dyan. Hindi naman yun nare-retain ng bata kasi hindi siya interested sa just by talking. But the teacher is just talking and talking. So walang retention ng lesson. So, hands-on. It can be popsicle sticks or anything around you. It can be stones or leaves. It can be, or yung sometimes din kasi, yung mga, I know for sure yung mga kinder teachers na sila, yung they tear small pieces of paper, tapos niro-roll nila, tapos nilalagyan nila ng color. So parang exciting, 'di ba? Na-excite yung mga bata na mag-cooperate sa lesson kasi sila mismo they're doing it. So sila like uh, they have crumpled paper like this and then they put some colors tapos yun na yun pag madami na yung nagawa nila, yun na din yung gagamitin nila na instructional material sa mathematics. And also, we can have some shells. But we have to be mindful again na pag gagamit tayo ng mga concrete materials, we also have to consider again, yung bata. So, dapat kilala mo yung bata. Dahil may mga bata talaga din na ayaw ng mga rough Ayaw ng mga rough things. So like for example, if you use yung dahon na may na mga small na hair like, so ayaw nila. So paano yun? Wala na naman retention at wala na namang learning. So again, we have to be very mindful and be familiar with the child. Meron din naman
kahit akang tawanan.
Meron din naman po mga tao na ayaw din ng mga bata na ayaw nung mga wet o mababasa. So, of course, alangan naman, bibigay mo sa kanya yung ayaw niya. So, baka magta-tantrums. Okay. So, ito, shells, we can also use shell as concrete materials. Okay. So, that's hands-on approach. Actually po, itong mga dinidiscuss ko, you're doing it every day po for teachers. Yes, we're doing it every day. It's just that sometimes we didn't know na ito pala yun. Yes. So differentiated instruction. When we say differentiated instruction, that means that you are having different kinds of multiple entry points and pathways of learning for a child to learn. Okay, so like for example, group activity. This group, you're going to paint or you're going to draw the the problem that the teacher has given. So yes, so itong grupo na ito, or in this station, you can have drawing. Sa kabila namang station, you can have kinesthetic. It can be moving or dancing. And then on the other station naman, music. It can be yung they're singing, and then ini-integrate mo yung music sa learning. And then everybody or everyone will pass through the learning stations that you built. So, station 1, station 2, station 3. And sa pagkakaalam ko, yung mga bio students may ganyan, pero hindi yun yung parang may microscope, tapos ito ibang specimen, tapos doon naman iba. So lahat ng bata, lahat ng bata will undergo the different stations na ginawa ng teacher. So that is differentiated instruction. And lastly, we have the assistive technology. So when we say assistive technology, hindi naman yun lahat nasa computer lang. It can be cellphone, it can be calculator. Tapos may mga may mga nowadays nowadays kasi rampant na yung using Wi-Fi, yung kahit mga bata mga bata ngayon talagang alam nila kung paano gamitin yung cellphone. Is noon yung sa panahon ko nahihirapan ka pang mag-answer ng call kasi gusto mo natatakot ka na pindutin kung ano yung pipindutin sa cellphone. Pero yung mga bata ngayon, they know where to go. Alam nila kung ano yung pipindutin, alam nila kung saan sila pupunta, alam nila kung ano yung YouTube. But again, for the parents who are listening today, we have to be very careful kasi sa mundo ng technology, sa mundo ng internet, ang dami-daming pwede nilang makuhang masasama. And we have several applications na we can install in our, if they have cell phone, they have own cell phone or tablet, they can, or parents and teachers can download examples lang po ito. Splash Learn, Rocket Math. I hope you are familiar of this. You can take down notes. Doodle Math and Marble Math Junior. So those are applications which is very helpful for the kids learning math, introducing math to your young ones. Kasi naman talaga exposed na talaga yung mga bata natin sa cellphone, sa internet, sa laptop, sa tablet, ganun. So instead of giving them what they want, let us better yet introduce them to these applications nga helpful naman kasi naman hindi naman talaga lahat masasama dun sa internet. And for YouTube channel naman, we have Smile and Learn, Number Blocks, of course, and Dr. Panda. Yes, Dr. Panda. They are very helpful video in YouTube na pangbata din at saka kahit naman matatanda, maaaliw din sa mga applications and videos na ito. Okay? So, Sir Jeff, nakikita po yung screen ko. Okay. So, to wrap up everything, yun po yung last na slide ko. So, to wrap up everything, we have to consider that every child is unique. Every human being is unique. And we have to consider that. Hindi pwedeng kung ano yung gusto natin, yun yung i-impose natin. Kahit na ayaw ng bata. Kasi wala namang learning kung i-impose natin kung ano yung gusto natin. So, again, thank you so much. I hope you learned a lot.